My name is Lucky Shots, and this is my save file.
What is up, gamers? Welcome to the Save File podcast, where like every video game character, every gamer has an origin story to tell. I'm your host, Gold Lion, and today's guest is going to be a good one, my friends. He's a Mixer partner, Fortnite player, overall badass, and one of the biggest pinnacles in this that I've seen so far in his career is that he's had a very nice encounter with Mr. Beast in this stream, which is very awesome. Me and him were chopping it up a little bit before this podcast. This guy has his amazing soul. He's out here trying to do good things for his community and all that. I'm gonna stop ranting about this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce y'all to him. I humbly and respectfully welcome Mr. Lucky Shots. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's up, man? How's it going? How you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing good. I've already said this. I've thanked you enough, but man, thank you so much for coming on this platform. It means so much to me, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And like you said, we were talking a little bit beforehand, and I just I appreciate some of the stuff you were telling me about that you've done and what you're doing here. And honestly, just giving like streamers and gamers and content creators kind of like a platform to share their story and do kind of like what we're doing right now. And thanks for having me today, man.
It's my pleasure, man. It's blessings, man. All blessings. Hard work pays off, man. It's interesting where our roads just integrate. It's awesome. But I did mention the whole Mr. Beast thing, so tell me more about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so no, it's actually like a super crazy story because I was one of the first people to interact with Mr. Beast on Mixer, right? But what's like a little more crazy is kind of like how that went into effect, because he didn't just like randomly pick me, and like a lot of people don't really know that because he this all happened within like 1 month, right? So I was streaming one day and we were about to go, I believe this was right before PAX West, and I think I had like just re-dyed my hair or something, but my hair was like, yeah, it was actually the day I got my hair colored, and it was like a lighter blue. It was looking really good, and I had actually went live late on this day because I had to go and get like my hair cut and colored, and it took hours or whatever. But then I actually ended up getting raided by Ninja, and so Ninja raided me for like 17,000 people. It was like one of his early raids when he first joined Mixer, and he came in and he blew up my channel, and he was dropping embers and everybody was following. They're all dropping embers. Like, it was insane, dude. And he came in and he hung out for a little bit, and I was just playing Fortnite, and I'm freaking out because like, people just hope that Ninja will raid them at some point. And I just remember like I sounded like an idiot because I just kept telling everybody like, thank you, like thank you, like thank you so much, thank you, over and over, because people were dropping donations and embers, and it was nuts, dude. It was so many people on my channel. And so fast forward, and I guess Mr. Beast had actually gone into Ninja's channel on Mixer and he donated $1,000. And he said like, hey, it's Mr. Beast. And Ninja didn't believe that it was actually him. So he banned him from his channel, and he was like, that's a fake Mr. Beast. It's not him. Like, there's no way. If it was actually him, he would DM me on Twitter. And like 30 seconds later, he gets a DM from Mr. Beast. He's like, no, it's really me. And he's just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry. Unban him. So he unbans him. And then Mr. Beast donates like some more money, and he's like, who deserves it? That's all he said. And Ninja named me as one of the people that, like, he listed like 4 or 5 people, and he named me. And then I guess 30 minutes later, and like what's really crazy is like I had random people coming into my stream right after that, right? And I'm playing Fortnite and playing with a buddy of mine, and I'm having like these random people that have never been in my channel, super low level, come in. They're like Mr. Beast is coming to your channel today, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, whatever, just ignoring it, like trolls. And then more people started coming in like, yo, Ninja told Mr. Beast to come to your channel. And I'm just like, what is going on here? Because there's a lot of people that are like, there's like several people that are saying this, but obviously I'm not going to get my hopes up that Mr. Beast comes in. And so I'm just chilling, and then all of a sudden there's like $1,000 donation, and then it's from Mr. Beast, and I'm like, what is going on? And then there's another donation, and then there's another donation, and he ends up donating like $11,000 in my channel in like 5 minutes. Like bomb after bomb, he ends up donating like all this money, and he blows it up, and he comes in, he donates all this money, and then when his actual video came out, he showed it, and he had donated like $6,000, and then he said in the video, but it all happened in like a month. So like within a month, I ended up being the guy that got raided by Ninja, but then also the guy who got visited by Mr. Beast, and he like hasn't been on the platform like since. Like nobody's seen him since then. But he came in, he donated like $100,000 to Mixer streamers, and that, I think that really put Mixer on the board as well, because then people started visiting. And even to this day, like it's really weird because my name isn't in the video. Like it doesn't list my name, it doesn't have a link to my channel or anything, but people will come in and be like, yo, you're that guy that was on the Mr. Beast video. And I'm like, how are you finding my channel? Like I don't understand. Because they're like, I saw you in the Mr. Beast video, and it just like there's no link to me in there. So it was wild, man, honestly. So like, people stream forever and they hope they get raided by Ninja, and they dream about getting hit with Mr. Beast, and it happened to me in 30 days, like both of them. So I guess I really was like lucky that month,
Yeah, hence lucky shots.
Yeah, man.
That's insane, dude. That's awesome to hear that. Holy crap. I wouldn't even. That's crazy though. I like how he says, if he cries, I'm gonna donate another 5K.
yeah. And then like I kind of like teared up a little bit, and then Chandler was like, yo, that's a tear. He wiped away a tear, and then he was like, give him the 5K. So he was like rooting for me, like he had my back, because I don't think Beast was gonna do it. And then he was like, all right, and so he donated it. So he had my back.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to him, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so straight right into it, man. So your first question is, tell us about your first experience with gaming.
Okay, so this one does like kind of just kind of put me into like that reminiscent type mood, I guess, just because last March I lost my mom, and that's coming up, but it was actually because of my mom that I had my first like gaming experience, because the whole time growing up, my mom, she had a really bad like brittle bone disease that caused her to just break bones like randomly sometimes. She had like almost around like 40 broken bones in her life. And when I was really young, I can't remember exactly how old, maybe like 4 or 5 or something. I don't really remember, but she ended up breaking her leg really bad, and she pretty much couldn't do anything. She was on doctor's orders to just kind of like stay in bed, because she tore it up. She broke it in like several places, and she had to have like a full cast all the way down her leg. And so since she was going to be stuck in bed, my grandpa wanted her to be able to do something other than like watch TV and movies or whatever. So he ended up actually buying her a Nintendo, like an original NES system. And so he brought her, got her a couple controllers, got her some games, and brought them over. And so that was actually how I ended up getting introduced into games, because I'd be there with my mom all day, and we'd just be playing on the NES and playing Mario and like the original Kirby. And I remember that was the first game that I was just like, I have to beat this. And I remember, like, to this day, I can still tell you exactly what happens on the last level, because I was stuck on it for so long. And it's like engraved in my mind. I just see Kirby on this riding on a star, and you have to race to the end while the map is like trying to like crush you, and it's like trying to close. And I always remember it, and I think it was definitely one of those memories that just like sticks with you, like you're just never gonna forget it. And so, you know, my mom is the reason that I ended up getting into gaming. And then after that, you know, it was just all over from there. You know, I couldn't stop. I've owned almost every game system, with an exception of a couple, but I love it, man. It's great. And it's awesome that you know, kind of made me think about that. I guess up until this point I never really thought about it, but yeah, it's thanks to my mom. So
Shout out to mom, man.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, so the first segment we're gonna get into is character creation. It's a little bit of background in your life. So why your name Lucky Shots?
So you know, we were talking a little bit beforehand about just like our, you know, where we came from and stuff. And I used to be like, when I first started streaming, I was really into competitive Halo. I used to travel around to go to MLG events, and I would play competitive arena online all day, every day. It was almost like, I remember, you know, getting out of high school and stuff. It was getting out of high school and everything. It was just like on my days off from work, it was Halo all day. You know, after work, Halo, weekends, Halo, all the time, just playing Halo. And it got to a point where, you know, we'd have, you know, Halo's really popular for like LAN events, you know, and LANing. And I know, like, we got to a point where me and a bunch of my friends would all go to my house, and everybody would bring their TVs and their Xboxes, and we'd all LAN it up at my house on the weekends. And it got to a point where like sometimes I would hit these like ridiculous shots, and like, you know, sometimes they were lucky and sometimes they weren't. And like a lot of my friends would be like, bro, there's no way you sniped me. Like, what a lucky shot. And so it kind of became like a meme almost within our friend group. It was like, oh, it doesn't matter. He's gonna snipe you because he's gonna get one of those lucky shots. Like, he just gets lucky when he shoots you. And then it happened so frequently that like the name just ended up kind of sticking. And so I actually used to be, when I first started streaming on Twitch and on Mixer, I was Lucky Shots all day. And I remember going to my very first convention in 2017. I went to the Penny Arcade Expo, PAX South, and they did a panel on like streaming 101, and I went to that panel, and there was a big Twitch streamer. I can't remember his name now. He was bigger at the time, but he was on the panel. And afterwards, you know, at one point in the panel, they're talking about branding and your name, and how you need to make sure that you're easy to find and distinguish and stuff. And then I asked him about my name, and he was like, your name's too long. You got to cut it down. You have to cut it down. It's too long. And so that's when I switched from Lucky Shots all day to Lucky Shots. And so sometimes people that have been around since the beginning will come in and be like, Lucky Shots all day, right? And like, it's just like kind of like I know you've been around for a while, if you remember that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
That's damn. So you still don't remember who the Twitch streamer was? For real?
It was like, I want to say his name was like Havoc or something like that, or I know who I could message to get his exact tag. I remember he was like taller Asian dude, real crazy hair. Kind of sounds like I just described Anthony Kong fan, but that's not who I'm talking about. No, I think Havoc maybe might have been his name. It was a while ago, and I actually haven't even seen him at a convention since then. So I don't really know what happened to the guy.
That's insane. Oh man. Well, shout out to him for giving you that piece of advice. So you feel like since you shortened it, it's definitely helped out with your brand?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually saw like a big difference in like people coming into my channel and followers and stuff, like when I first made the change. Like I made the change So I started streaming October 2016. The convention was January 2017. First thing I did when I got back was change my name. And I remember like February, like I had like a giant upsurge in like followers and views on my channel and stuff. So we'll never really know, I guess, if it was due to that or not, but
Mhm.
I would be willing to bet that it was, because that was the only thing I changed.
So yeah, it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet. Okay, so tell us about your childhood.
Uh, Pretty vague question. Ask me something specific.
Okay. How was it growing up with your mom during the beginning of your gaming?
Okay, so like I said, my mom would get sick a lot, break her bones a lot. Like she had bad immune system. That was like a normal thing the whole time growing up. But my mom was actually a my mom actually drove trucks when I was growing up in California, but not like your typical, like, you're thinking like big 18-wheeler driving trucks. She wasn't like that. She was like, she worked for a company called Ryder that later got purchased by Penske. And she would drive their trucks from location to location. So like there would be like one site and they would need like some of the bigger moving vehicles. So she would go to one spot, pick up a big vehicle, drive it over there, take a smaller vehicle, drive it to another lot, and just kind of drive all around California, moving their vehicles around and stuff. And there would be times when she would have to be gone for like a whole weekend, and like, I'd get babysat or whatever, and instead of going and hanging out with kids or whatever, I would have friends come over and we would play Sega like
Mhm.
all weekend, or we would play games all weekend. And so, um, because my mom didn't want me like going to other people's houses while she was gone, she wanted me to stay home. So it worked out because I wasn't allowed to leave, but I didn't want to leave. So I just played games, and then sometimes friends would come over, and we would just game and stuff. And I remember there was something in California for a long time that I had, and like I was like the cool kid because I had it. It was called Sega Channel. Do you remember that?
No.
No, there
Uh-uh.
was it was like a monthly subscription, and you had like a cartridge, and you would put it into your Sega, but it would have like 30 Sega games on it, and they would change like every month, and it was called Sega Channel. My mom paid for that for me, so I got to play all these different Sega games all the time, and they just rotated like constantly, and it's like Netflix before Netflix.
The Netflix of gaming.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like a big deal because like I guess at the time like a lot of kids didn't have it, maybe, or maybe they did, just not where I lived. But like all my friends would like come over and hang out and we'd play Sega Channel and stuff. So and then we ended up moving, and so um our original plan was to move to Florida because one of my mom's best friends, she lived in Florida at the time, and the plan was for us to move to Florida, and then her friend was getting her a job with her with what she was doing. And so I remember we packed up everything we owned. We threw it in a moving vehicle, and we drove across the country. It took us 3 days. We drove straight. We slept in the car. My mom was like, "We're going to Florida." So we left and we went to Florida, and we were there for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then my grandma, she ended up having a stroke when she was going to check the mail, and so she actually managed like 10 rental properties here in New Mexico. And so my mom made the decision to be the one to come back to New Mexico and manage those properties for her. So we were in Florida for all of 2 weeks, and then she pulled me out of school, and we left and we moved back here. And I've been here. I've moved a couple of times, like for a short amount of time, other places, but for the most part, I've been here in New Mexico. And honestly, I don't like the town I live in, but all my friends, like a lot of my friends are here and stuff. And so we came back to New Mexico, and then I was playing games, and then the whole Halo thing, and my mom was so strict about it, because she didn't want cables all around her house, so she wouldn't let me run an Ethernet cable, and she wasn't willing to get a good Wi-Fi router, so I could only play online on the weekends if I got up before she got up and I took my stuff to the living room and I could use my Ethernet cable and I could play online. And then when she got up, I had to get it all out of the living room and go back to my room and play offline. So it wasn't really until after high school that I got like super into like online gaming, because like I had my own place and I had internet and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I guess that's kind of like how I ended up in New Mexico, trapped here forever. Saved me.
You ever considered, like, you haven't ever considered moving somewhere else?
No, I absolutely have. I mean, a big part of it is like a lot of my friends and stuff are here, and right now I'm just kind of like saving money. But I do want to move. I want to get out of here. There's nothing in this town. I'm in a very good situation right now, where I can save money. My roommate is buying the house that we're in. He's like a high rank captain in the Air Force at the base that's here. Mm-hmm. And so he's like buying this house and he lets me rent this room that I'm in. Like, hell, you'd be so jealous if you knew how much I pay for rent. Like, I tell people and they're like, I wouldn't move either, because he hooks it up. He lets me pay a super low amount. I don't have to pay utilities. I don't pay internet. I buy my food. I pay my rent. And so I'm just saving money. I'm saving money right now so I can move.
So what cities are you considering?
I think the like the end goal for me would be to end up in Seattle or near Seattle, around Seattle.
Why there?
Have you ever been?
Nope.
So every year there's an event in Seattle called PAX, but it's PAX West, which was when I got my first exposure to Seattle. But it's amazing weather. The food is great. There's a lot of culture, a lot of like upcoming like music artists and stuff like end up going there to like test out the waters and play at like bars and stuff to like to get their music out there. And they're not charging anybody anything to come. They just want people to know about them. So there's like a big music community there. I'm not like this crazy music head or anything, but it is like one of the things about the town that are really great. And then it's also the big tech capital. You've got like Mixer headquarters is there, Microsoft, Amazon, T-Mobile, like all these big companies. And it's beautiful there. The weather is incredible. It's just, if you go there once, you'll be sold. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, my buddy went up there with a mutual friend. I think it was last year. Yeah, dude, he sent me a lot of pictures of I'm a big person about nature. I'm a big nature person. So he sent me a lot of sceneries. I'm like, bro, I gotta check it out.
You have to. Honestly, go to PAX, dude. Make it happen. We'll meet in person.
Hell PAX yeah. When's September? Say less. Say less. I'm actually saving up for E3 as well.
I'll be at E3.
Oh shit. Okay. We'll see what's up.
Yeah, we'll meet up for sure. I'll if you go to Seattle once, you'll be sold, man. It's amazing. I like to end up in Seattle. I mean, California could be okay, I think. If I went with the right people. I don't know. Colorado seems nice. I haven't been there in a while, but Colorado isn't bad. But I guess I haven't really thought about like I just got my heart set on Seattle, man. Or not even in Seattle, just driving distance. Even if I'm like 2 hours away or an hour and a half away, I could deal with that. But being able to just go there on the weekends and enjoy it, and
I think you sold me already, man.
Wait till you go.
I feel like I'm there already.
You're gonna go, and then you're gonna go back home and pack your bags and go.
I'd be like, Lucky, you weren't lying, bro. I'm staying.
Streamer house. Here we go.
Hey, don't play with me now.
No, that seems to be like an ongoing like thing that people just keep bringing up. Like, yo, streamer house in Seattle. Like, we've just been talking about it since
Nah,
since
listen. If you want to
last
talk
year.
about it, I'm down to talk about it. I'm about it.
We're gonna
I'm
have
not that
to.
type of person. Like, you know how people are like, you know, they throw the idea out there, but there's always that one person that's like, nah, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about it. We doing it or
Yeah,
what? I'm that guy. So we'll definitely talk more about that
let's
for
do
sure.
it.
For sure. So tell me about your relationship with your mom.
Um, so I feel like whenever I was younger, we had a really good relationship, and then like as I got older, I don't know, my mom, she liked to like, she was really big about like micromanagement. She wanted to be like in control and be right about everything all the time. And so, as I got older, I was actually in grade school and in junior high. I got in trouble a lot, like at school, not for fighting, but like I had really bad ADHD. I'd been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder when I was younger, and I tried to take medication for it, but it like it caused me to get like really bad ear infections and stuff. So they had to like take me off of it. And so since I couldn't take it, I had to go through school without it. And I was notorious for just distracting other kids, like talking in class, couldn't stay on task, like not getting my work done, stuff like that. And it was really bad, fifth and sixth grade, and then all through junior high. In high school, I finally like managed it much better. I got in a little bit of trouble in my like 10th grade, but then like 11th and 12th, I was good. I was getting good grades. I wasn't like I managed. I started being able to like handle it a lot better. But there's actually a there's actually like an ongoing joke because in fifth grade, I spent probably 85% of my entire fifth grade year in school suspension because I would get out of in school suspension and then immediately get in trouble for distracting other kids or talking in class. So they'd send me back to the principal's office. The principal would put me 5 days in school suspension. I do my 5 days, get out, be out for a day or two, get sent back. And then at the end of my fifth grade year, my fifth grade teacher retired. And there was a joke about when she had me in her class, she was done teaching, and so she retired. But then the sixth grade, the same thing happened, and she retired too. So back to back, two teachers that had been teaching for a long time retired. So it was like a joke that I made them retire. So it was kind of funny. But as I through those years, my mom and I we butted heads a lot. I didn't like her telling me what to do, even though I was a kid, and obviously it's any parent's job to get onto your kid if they're getting in trouble in school. So I'm constantly getting in trouble, so I'm getting grounded at home, and then I want to fight with my mom about it because I don't want to be grounded. And so we really like we were butting heads a lot. And then in like my 11th and 12th grade, like things started to get better. And we were communicating better. We were like able to talk to each other like, you know, like adults, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I graduated, and I lived at home for like another year after I graduated. And my mom actually kind of like pushed me out of the house because I graduated, and then I was you know, just doing school and stuff for a little bit, and then I was hanging out with people that just wanted to like they wanted to party a lot, and you know, that's the thing, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I was partying, and then I was going and I was staying out late, and I was drinking on the weekends even though I wasn't supposed to be drinking. And so I just remember I came home one day, I think it was after like a Christmas party or something, and I came home really late. I tried to sneak in, and my mom was up or whatever, and she was like, sorry, she's like, on your birthday, you're out of the house. And my birthday is January 22nd. It's like a little bit under a month. She was like, on your birthday, you're out of this house. I don't care. So figure out what you're doing. And I was just like, oh man, like I got to get my shit together. Like, and then I struggled for a little bit. So like I told you how she was managing the properties and stuff for my grandma. She let me move into one of the rental properties, and the rent wasn't bad, but I was only working part-time. And I think that was a big step for me, like kind of like growing up a little bit. I had to get out, so I moved down the street and around, down the block or whatever. It was like I think like 5 or 6 blocks away from my mom's house to one of the rental properties. Moved in, had my own place, but I like didn't really have money to live. Like I was struggling for a while. I could only pay my bills and buy some food and pay for like internet, and that was it. But I had to pay for internet so I could play games. And so I was just kind of living that super cheap, like college kid lifestyle with no money and stuff. And then we kind of like drifted apart a bit there for a couple years. Like I would go over there on the holidays. We would talk a little bit like here and there in between. And that was about it. And then a little bit later we started to talk more and stuff. That's actually like something that I kind of regret, is like I don't know if I maybe held her like responsible for me struggling, or like subconsciously or something, but I regret that we didn't talk more like during that time, because then like kind of like look back. You got me all like in no, okay. You kind of like look back and you're like, if I could get more time, I would. It's like, I don't know. I wish we could have been closer, but everything happens for a reason, I guess.
But why the regret though? Okay. I guess like you don't ever get more time. So even though we were like in good terms, and we talked a lot like before she was gone, it's like, man, we could have talked more, we could have had more time. So it's just like, I guess it's like she forced me to like grow up a bit, so I appreciate that. But I just wish we were closer during that time, like we talked more, and we could have had like more moments, I guess. What's the biggest lesson that you learned from her passing?
Biggest lesson. Sorry, I'm like I'm thinking. I would say
you're good, man. You're good.
I would say the biggest lesson would be we all have a limited amount of time. So like, a month before she passed away, it's like you don't really think you're gonna lose your mom in a month. So just value the time you have with your family and friends, because even though you're not expecting to lose someone, or you're not expecting somebody to be gone, like they could be. So don't let like the little things like prevent you guys from talking, or or continuing to be friends, because you never really know, you know?
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry for your loss, man.
I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
It's like the reflecting. It's like, shit, man.
So what are some lessons that you did learn from your mom that you feel like it built your character as a man?
I mean, something that my mom was like really notorious for whenever we were, growing up was, she didn't care whose kid you were or what situation you were in. Like, she would take care of you. There was a lot of times throughout my childhood, like in school, when I would have friends that needed a place to stay, or they needed somewhere to go, or maybe their home wasn't like a safe place for them, and my mom would just let them live with us. There's several people who spent a long time living with us, and I think she just kind of showed me that, like, if you're in a position where you can and you're able to, like, help people because they may not have anybody else, and just like be compassionate, I guess, be empathetic for other people's situations. There's a lot of times when I had a lot of friends who were in really broken homes, and it wasn't even like a conversation or a thought. It was, get your clothes, get your school stuff, get your bags, like, you're moving in with us. And I remember times when, like, there was a time when one of my friends was in a really bad situation, and his mom's boyfriend was being really physical with everybody in the household, and my mom drove over there and told him to get his clothes and get in the car, and his mom tried to come outside and say that he wasn't leaving, and my mom told her that he was either leaving with us or he was leaving with the police, because he wasn't spending another night in that house. And that obviously his mom was afraid that child protective services would come, or the police would come and take her boyfriend away, and she cared more about her boyfriend than her kids, and so she let my mom take him, and he stayed with us for like years. He was just family. He lived with us, and stayed with us, and he was part of the family. And I still see him on the holidays. We meet up and we have dinner, and we're all together, and he's family. So yeah, just be there for people. It's important.
You bring up an important point, that is that, yeah, a great lesson also that your mom shared, that you're sharing about your mom, is that if you have the power and the resources to help somebody, help them. That's really,
they might not have anybody else.
Exactly. And of course, be empathetic towards, everybody has a story, man. Everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
Shout out to mom, man. Okay, so how'd you get into streaming?
Yeah, kind of touched on it a little bit ago. I used to play Halo and stuff, and a couple people suggested, like, hey, like, you should stream while you're playing. And I was just like, yeah, I'll try and figure it out, I guess. And so I remember having like my first like kind of strong computer, and I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I ordered like one of those capture cards. I think, I don't remember if the software or the capture card was called Blackmagic, but it was one of them, and trying to figure it out. And it was super janky, like we were talking about, and hard to set up and not friendly. And I remember the video resolution was all jacked up, and I was like, I'm done with this. And so then flash forward, that was like during Halo Reach days. And so flash forward to Halo 5, I was playing, and streaming was becoming more of like a thing. Lots of people were doing it. I was hearing about it, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna start streaming. It's super easy to stream from the Xbox. I just have to hit go live on my Twitch app. And so I did that, and I used my phone to read chat, and I streamed from the Xbox. And it was really hard to grow because, like, if you're playing a game like Halo, all the people on Twitch wanted to watch the best. So they were watching all the pros. Nobody was watching any casual Halo 5 players or some up and coming Halo 5 players or anything. They were watching semi-pro, pros, people who were making a living from playing Halo. Those were the people they were watching. So I remember averaging like 5 viewers, 4 viewers, like always the same people, never getting anybody new, extremely hard to grow. And then, looking back now, it's like, obviously it was hard to grow because you're streaming using the app. So you had a little bit of pixelization. You literally just had your camera on top of a gameplay, no alerts, no overlays, no special effects, nothing like that, no quality. So like, obviously people were going to go and watch pros who were streaming with capture cards and PCs and all this stuff. And they were going to do that before they were going to watch you. And so I see that now, but at the time it was like, man, why isn't anybody checking out my stream? And like, just not knowing how the industry works and not knowing how the whole like community and the ecosystem functions. And like, now looking back, I'm like, oh, I can go into somebody's stream. I could pull up Mixer right now, go to like the Fortnite directory and scroll down to somebody who has 1 viewer and click on their stream, and I could tell you why they have 1 viewer. Like, I could pinpoint the things that need to be changed in order to grow. And I understand some people, they don't have the ability to get like streaming PCs and stuff like that, but like, now there's ways around it that you didn't have before, because you have like Lightstream. I don't know if you've heard of that. It allows you to use overlays and stuff, even if you're streaming straight from a console. You can use alerts, all that stuff. So yeah, there's always, you got to put in the effort. Like, just like with your content, right? You got to put in the effort. You can't just do the bare minimum. And so I see that now. But so I started streaming and using my phone to read chat and streaming from the app. And I remember going live, like still even at that time, having like a schedule, like streaming from this time to this time on these days, and just going live all the time, even though I only had 3 or 4 viewers. And I remember there was definitely a point when I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like, it's not really going anywhere, not getting any momentum or anything.
So what next? Yeah.
And then it was and then I got my first like real upgrade, and I was still on Twitch at that time. And I bought my first gaming PC, like my first custom built gaming PC. Bought all the stuff for it. A friend of mine who had experience putting computers together helped me build it. We got it all set up, and I bought a capture card. I bought my first like webcam, which was the C920, the infamous starter webcam. I got my first microphone, which was a Blue Snowball, and I had my first, and then I bought another monitor, and I had my first 2 monitors set up, and I was ready to take it all on and make it happen. And then I remember I grew a little bit, but I was definitely still having issues, like getting any kind of momentum. And so I was streaming for like 8-9 people, and I was excited because I was seeing some growth and getting some followers. And I don't know how much time you spend on Mixer, but if you know who Jared FPS is, you know who Jared is? Okay, so Jared is my day one. That guy's my family. I wouldn't be on this platform if it weren't for him. We used to play Halo, me and him and Chris Covent, Commanda Boom, all partners. We used to play Halo. And one day I was messaging him after I got off work. I was like, hey man, we playing Halo tonight? He's like, yeah, we're playing Halo tonight, but I'm streaming on a new site. You should go make an account. And it sent me Beam.pro, and I was like,
What
all
is
right.
this?
So yeah, I'm like, what the hell? He's like, just check it out. It's sick. And I'm like, all right, whatever, man. I'll check it out. So I got home, I go to his stream, and then that was when I noticed like the FTL. And at that time, there was nowhere you could get that kind of delay. It was 30 seconds on Twitch. It was 30 seconds or more anywhere you went, except Beam. You went to a stream on Beam and you said, "Hey, what's up?" And the streamer said, "Hey, what's up?" And is he talking to me? Like, I just sent that message. Are you talking to me? You type it in chat. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're like, what is happening here? Like, how is this guy responding instantly? Like, this is insane. And I made my account. I got it all set up, and it was not user friendly at the beginning. Like, I was like, I don't know where everything's at. I'm trying to figure it out. And there used to be this guy who was on the front page every day when you went in, and his title was making stream overlays and assets for new streamers. Just ask. And I was like, this cannot be real. So I go into his channel. I'm like, hey, I'm new. I don't really know how to set this stuff up. I want to start streaming. Like, can you help me? And no lie, this guy stops his game, pauses it, minimizes it, shows me how to do everything on the site and make my account, and then starts making me panels for my page and spends the next like 2 hours making me my first panels, my camera box, everything. And then he gave it all to me in a folder, and he was like, go set up your stream. I don't want to see you back in here until you go live. He gave me everything. And so I set up my stream. I had all these assets. I set up my bio, my panels, my overlays, my camera box, got it all set up, and like I was good to go. And I went live, and he helped me with my settings, and I went back. I was like, okay, I think I got it. I'm live now. Thank you so much. And he pulls up my stream and goes, everybody go follow him right now. And I got like 50 followers like on my very first stream. And I'm just like, this is insane. This would never happen on Twitch. This is nuts. And so like that was really one of the big things that like kept me on Mixer, because the community, and there's still that community feel when you go to Mixer and you go to like my channel or anybody, like, you know, we all like know each other, and it's like a family, and it's awesome. And that was a big thing. And then I just never went back. Been on Mixer since.
Tell us about your experience with Partner.
I got denied my first time. I
don't mean to laugh, my bad, but the story is always great,
Yeah, and like I see people that like they apply and they get denied, and they're like, I can't believe I got denied. Like, I'm changing platforms. Like, this is ridiculous.
Come on,
X person got approved and this person got approved. How am I getting denied? I'm just like, I'm like, shut up. Like, do you realize that like if it was easy for you to get partnered, then like there would be no point. And then you see people who complain like, well, partners already get A, B, and C. Like, why aren't we getting stuff? And it's like, the partner program doesn't make sense if there's no value in it, right? So if every single thing that partners got, everybody else got, what would be the point? Like, there's no value in it. Like, if you want access to those things, then work your ass off and get partnered. And one of the things I think is really cool is that they opened up Embers for everybody. So now if your community wants to support you, they can send you Embers, whether you're partnered or not or whatever. And I think that's amazing. It's something that I'm happy that they opened up to everybody. But there's like stuff, like they're just like, well, how come partners get access to this thing and this thing? And I'm just like, stop worrying about that. Like, figure out your road to partnership and make it happen. And like, so I got approved in April. So in March, 3 years ago, I applied, and I thought I was ready. Like, I was seeing good numbers. I had regulars. I had people subbing to me on Patreon, and I had people that were like, supporting me. I was like, yeah, like I think I'm ready. I applied, and I just remember it was like the worst 2 weeks ever, just waiting for a reply. Just waiting for a reply. And then finally got an email. It was like Mixer Partnerships, and I click on it, and it was like, we regret to inform you that we can't offer you partnership at this time. And I was like, I was hurt, man. Like I wanted to like cry almost. Like I was just like, I can't believe this. And then the guy who actually denied me partnership is now like one of the head guys at for the production team for like all of the like shows, like the Level Up casts and all that stuff that you see on Mixer. Ethan Rothmel. He's the guy that he was in partnerships at the time, and he denied me. And he said, "Look, I think you're almost there. Normally we give you a 90-day cooldown, but we're only going to give you a 30-day cooldown. In 30 days, if you feel like you're ready, apply again. I just don't really think that your growth is there yet." And so I went back and I was like, "Hey guys, we got denied, but we're just gonna work on it." And I remember I applied again on my 30th day as the timer went up. I applied again with an entirely rewritten application. I redid everything. I applied, and I got an email like a couple days later, and was like, "You're approved," and I got accepted. I remember I was so excited. Like I was on top of the world. I was partnered. I made it, and then that was in April, and then in May, like less than a month later, I remember there was this big thing, and it was like all the partner managers were like, "Hey, we have to talk to everybody in the next 72 hours. Every single partner has to have a 1-hour meeting with like one of the partner managers in the next 72 hours, no exceptions." I'm like, what is going on? And then that's when they told us that Beam was becoming Mixer, and they showed us the logo. They showed us the logo, and they showed us the like the merch, and then they showed us like the bots, like you see all like Hypebot and all of those. They showed us those guys, and we were just like, this is hold on, excuse me one second. Oh, okay. No, we're good. I thought I heard the house alarm going off, but it was the guy that's working downstairs. Okay, anyways, but they showed us everything, and they're like, Beam is becoming Mixer, and it's happening in 4 days. And we're like,
wow,
what do you mean? Yeah. And they're like, in 4 days at 3 in the morning or whatever, everybody's gonna wake up and the whole site's gonna be changed. Everything. Nobody knows. And they're like, we have an entire box of merch on its way to your house. There's going to be shirts and hoodies and hats, and we have this document about how to talk to everybody and explain everything to everyone. We're going to have this interactive fireworks show. And it was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And it was right after I got partnered, so it was just like, I guess we're doing this. So yeah, and so then the whole site switched over, and it was crazy because like the day that it switched was also like the same time that the app was hitting Xbox for the first time. So I just remember I got put into this like like how we were saying earlier, everything happens for a reason, and it was like I got partnered at just the right time, and then I ended up getting featured on the front page on the first 2 days. I remember I called into work because they wanted to put me on the front page on the first day, and they were doing something where every person who had Xbox Live got a free sub to a partner. So I I called in and I told work I was sick, and I streamed for like 18 hours straight, and I got like 1,100 subs in like 3 days. It was insane. It was insane. Every Xbox person had a sub, so they're using it on the first streamer they came to. And because I was on the front page and I had so many viewers, I was getting more viewers. So even though I wasn't featured anymore, I had so many viewers, more people were coming in. And so it was just sub after sub after sub, follow, subs. Like it was insane. And And so I was just like, I've only been partnered for like a month. What is happening? This is crazy, dude. Like, what the heck is happening? And I've just been here ever since, man. I've attended every single event since then. Like all of the PAXs, E3. I just love being a part of the community and seeing like people who like came into my channel as brand new viewers, like, hey, I'm new to Mixer, I'm gonna start streaming, and then like seeing them get partnered is it's awesome, man. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, just seeing the whole turnaround. Like,
Yep.
I remember when I was there, and then now you're here.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Like it's like actually seeing people who came in like, hey, this is my first time on Mixer, and then them hanging out in my channel for a long time, and then them becoming a sub, and then they're like, you made me really want to start streaming, and so then they start streaming, and then next thing you know, they're applying for a partner, and it's like, then you see them like when you look at your all streamers list, and you see them with like 50 viewers, and you're like, I remember when you were brand new, like how cool. It's awesome. I love it.
That's so great. Shout out to Mixer, man. They're out here changing lives. I don't give a fuck what anybody say.
Absolutely. The people that are like, imagine streaming on Mixer, it's like you obviously haven't even given it a chance, man, because like I'm living the dream. I
You
get to
really
do
are.
something I love every
And you're
day.
doing it full time, correct?
Yeah. 2 years in May. 2 years with no other income other than streaming. And I quit my job. Like I had 2 weeks left of paid time off. So I had 15 days. So I put in a request for 15 days off in a row. And one day into it, I emailed my 2 week resignation. And I spent my 2 weeks on vacation, my last 2 weeks at my job. And like a week before that, I just told my stream, I was just like, I was waking up every day dreading going to work. Like I hated my job. I did tech support. And I just dreaded going to work every day, and I hated it. And the terrible because they got purchased by another company, and they changed everything, and they were just like ruining it. I was like, man, I hate my job. And one day I was just like, we're doing it, stream. I had looked at like my last couple months of like income. I got rid of my car, and I walked everywhere or got rides from people, and in order to afford it, and I quit my job, and I never had to go back, thankfully, thanks to my community. So like any of you guys that are listening right now, thank you guys for making it possible.
Shout out to the Wolf Pack. So why the Wolf Pack?
Man.
Why the Wolf Pack? Why that name?
So that was always like something that I've done from the start, because for me it was sort of like I can't like do this on my own type thing, and it was like I couldn't do it without you guys, but I also want to be able to lead and help you guys be successful in what you want to do, whether you want to stream or do YouTube or create content somewhere else or whatever. Like I want to be able to help and support you guys, and I can't do it without your support. So we're a team, we're a family, we're a pack. So it just always stuck, and it's been a thing ever since, and we've just always been the Wolf Pack. And and now it's gotten to a point where like even Mixer recognizes it. I hit like my 100K followers, and their tweet was like, shout out to Lucky and the Wolf Pack, and like they know, and like the other partners know, and it's like consistency, like we are the Wolf Pack, like that's what we are, and we got each other's back, and we're family, and nobody's messing with anybody, and so just stuck. It's been like that.
Well, congratulations to your success, man. That's amazing.
Thanks, man.
Truly are a success story, and hopefully you sharing that, people can get a few lessons in it where hard work, dedication, and patience definitely pay off.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Honestly, it's been a long road. It's like it wasn't easy.
Definitely not, man. Okay, so we're about to get into the next segment, but real quick, I think it was my sister knocking on my door, so I'm gonna go see what she needed real quick. Okay.
Cool. No problem.
It'd be like 2 minutes. A minute.
Sounds good.
Okay. We back, boys.
All right, welcome back.
No, thank you. All right, I gotta write down that time. 18. Yeah, boy. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, so the next segment we're gonna get into is attributes. So I'm gonna name off some characteristic traits, and you rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest.
Oh boy! All right.
You ready?
Yep. Let's hear them.
You ain't got no choice.
You're locked in.
Yeah, you locked in, man. All right, curiosity.
Like how curious of a person I am,
Mm-hmm.
or is that what I'm doing? So like 5 being an extremely curious person,
Correct.
and one. Okay, okay. Just making sure. I don't want to be like, I don't want to say a number, and you're like, oh no. Okay. How curious of a person am I? 4.
Why not a 5? Why a 4?
Because I think if I were the way I was thinking it in my head is if I were a 5 on the scale for curiosity, I would probably never ever turn down the opportunity to find out about something or to investigate into something or to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think I can. I think there are like moments when, I might be like, no, I don't need to know. I'm good. And I don't think I would have that ability if I were a 5.
Gratitude.
I I would say I'm a 5. I like are we saying like how like how grateful I am for what I have?
Yeah, just how grateful you are in general.
I would say that I feel extremely grateful for the situation I'm in and everything that I've been blessed with. And like I always like tell people, like almost to a fault, like, thank you so much for the donations or the subs or the embers or whatever. Like I'm always like saying thankful or telling people like, hey, I appreciate how how real you are, or how upfront you are, or everything you do for me and the other people. So like I would say I'm very grateful. I put myself at a 5.
Patience.
A 3.
Why?
Because when there's something that's out of my control that I have to wait for,
Mhm.
I just accept it and I move on, and it doesn't bother me. If I have to wait, if a company tells me, all right, well, we've received this information, we'll get back to you in a week or two. I'm just like, okay, and I'm able to accept it, and I'm able to be patient and wait for it, and I'm not like checking my phone every single day hoping for a response. Like whenever it comes in, it comes in. But when there's something I want and it's possible for me to do it now, I'm extremely impatient. So a while back, my old streaming PC decided it just wanted to stop working. It was blue screening and it was messing up a lot or whatever. I tried to fix it for about an hour, and I literally got into my car and drove 2 hours to the nearest Best Buy to go buy a replacement computer, and then drove 2 hours back, and then spent 6 hours setting everything up so I could stream the next day, because I wasn't going to wait for a computer to come in the mail or a replacement part. I went and bought a whole new computer because I couldn't be patient about it. Like I couldn't wait. So
Dedicated.
that's why I would put it at a 3, because like when I have to, I'm cool with it. But if I don't have to, like if I want something, if there's like a new piece of equipment I want, like I will drive 2 hours to go get it now instead of ordering it online and waiting 2 days.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I can't, dude.
Yeah, good thing for me, my Best Buy is only 30 minutes away. But damn,
Yeah,
2 hours? You weren't
exactly.
lying when you said there wasn't anything over where you're at.
Nothing, dude. I'm telling you, nothing to do here. It's terrible.
No. Spirituality.
Hmm. I hmm. I don't feel like I'm an extremely spiritual person. Like, I believe that there's something else. I believe that there's more, but I guess I don't really know what I believe. Um, I've never been that kind of person that's like, don't worry, everything's going to be okay because God is looking over you type of person. I've never been like that. I do believe that good things come to good people, and people who are bad or wrong other people will get it'll come back around to them. But
Karma.
yeah, karma. But I've never been like, don't worry, God or whoever else is is watching over you, so everything is going to be okay if you just pray about it. Like, I think that you're kind of in control of your own destiny type thing. And um if you want there to be a change in your life, then make it happen. Don't just hope that the greater forces will make it happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably put myself at like a 2 or a 3 on the spirituality, I guess. I do believe that there's something else, but I'm not walking around like, you know, I already explained it. I
Yeah, I understand. Charisma.
I mean, obviously I'm a 5.
Oh,
Right?
obviously?
I mean,
Why is it so obvious,
obviously,
Mr. Lucky Shots?
obviously, I mean, like, look how good of friends we are already. We're streaming house together.
Don't be putting these ideas in my head. Don't play with me.
No, I just kind of pride myself on being able to just get along with people, man. I don't have any enemies on Mixer, Twitch. I don't have anybody that I'm, that's out to get me. I go to these events, and I get along with everybody, and I feel like I can just talk to people and get along with my community and get along with other streamers and just have good conversations with people. And it's not hard to talk to people for me. And I enjoy it, and I love meeting new people and just getting along and all of that stuff, man. I don't know. I'd put myself at a 5. Like, I love that part of streaming, just meeting people and being a part of the community.
Imagination.
Imagination. What a weird one.
I'm sorry, but
Like,
thanks. I don't know what to say to that.
no, I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking, like, because when you say imagination, it's like, do you mean more like my artistic creativity and like my creative ability? Because in that aspect, I would say I'm probably like a 1 or a 2, man. I can't draw. I sometimes, like, I have to get inspiration from other sources to figure out like new stuff that I want to do, like within my stream or whatever. Like, I don't always have like the like greatest ideas like on my own without a little bit of like inspiration. Whereas, like, you'll see some people who are just, doing cosplays, and they're doing crazy like makeup things and special effects, and they're doing all these crazy like things on their stream, and they're extremely like imaginative and creative and stuff. So in that aspect, I would give myself like a 1 or a 2. But if we're talking about like, all right, we're playing a game of D&D. The sun is setting. The cool like October night, and you're like trying to paint this picture, and you're playing like some tabletop games or something. I feel like I can be like I can have good imagination. Like I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and you have like that's all like imagination, and you're like creating this whole picture in your head, and you're painting the battlefield out, and like in that aspect, I'm like, hey, like I'm like a 4 or 5, like I can do that all day. So
Speaking of D&D, I'm also a fan of D&D. You ever heard of Critical Role on Twitch?
I've heard of them. I have not seen them.
Watch them, dude. Just one episode. Just one.
It's like,
just watch one stream.
It's like a group of people, right? That
yeah,
are
a group of
D&D?
voice actors. Yeah. Like, you know who Matthew Mercer is?
Mm-mm.
You played Overwatch?
Yeah.
He's a voice actor for McCree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you see them? Or
yeah, you see them. No, you see them, dude. They're storyteller. Okay. Matthew Mercer. So he's the DM. A beautiful storyteller, dude. The way he just captures, dude, it's so good. And the other, there's 7 others, and they're all voice actors, and like, you know, the same industry, dude. Fucking awesome people, dude. Just watch it, man. If you just watch it.
I will go watch an episode. I promise.
Yeah. And what's ironic,
I'll probably do it.
They're only on every Thursday. They're on every Thursday, which is your day off. Every Thursday, and I think it's 7 p.m. Pacific time. They start on Twitch.
It's meant to be.
Yeah, meant to. Is there such thing as coincidence? I don't know, but we here.
All right. No, I promise. I will definitely go check it out. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's definitely dope. Okay, forgiveness.
5, easy.
Why?
I don't hold grudges. Like, it's not who I am. It's I got better things to do with my energy than to be mad at somebody forever over something they did. Somebody who is actually like seeking forgiveness and is sorry for what they did, like I'll forgive you. I can't think of anybody that I'm just holding a grudge or anything like that. I don't do that. That's not me.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. I think I would say a 4 or a 5, but with that, I would also rate myself a 4 or a 5 in stubbornness, because sometimes I'm aware of things that I need to work on, but I just don't. Like I'll be aware that I need to eat better, or that I need to be better about going to the gym, or I need to, be better about A or B. But sometimes, even though I know I need to be doing it, I don't. Like, I might try to justify that something else is better for my time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I kind of like set my mind on something, it's kind of hard to change my mind unless you have like extremely valid points.
Mm-hmm.
If I come to the conclusion within myself that I need to do, A, B, and C today, and I've already decided that, like, say I have, 7 different things I could be doing that day, and I've decided I'm going to do A, B, and C, and you try to tell me that I should be working on, D or E. It's going to be extremely hard to change my mind once I've made up my mind about that, because like I'm aware that I need to do those things, but I've already decided that I need to do 1, 2, and 3. And unless you can come up with extremely valid reasons as to why I should change my mind, it's pretty hard to change my mind.
Courage.
A 3.
Why 3?
Because I think if I had more courage, or if I was more courageous, that there are things that I would have already, done or pulled the trigger on, like, like we talked earlier about moving, like I'm like saving money and stuff, but like if I was more courageous, maybe I would have already moved. Maybe I would have already pulled that trigger. Maybe I would have already done it. Maybe if I was more courageous, I would, take the leap to do other things that I'm kind of like nervous about doing. Like, right now TikTok is huge, right? But like I have it, but I haven't done any. Like maybe I haven't done it because like I don't think that like I'm not courageous enough to like put myself out there to be like judged about it or something,
Yeah.
like maybe if I didn't care or was better about it, that I would do more of that kind of stuff, kind of like putting myself out there to get like criticized and stuff. So I'd say like a 2 or a 3.
All right, last one. Luck.
Oh wait, what was the last one?
Luck.
5. 100%.
How so? Explain.
Okay, this one, this one's actually really funny because it's an ongoing thing with me and every person that's close to me, and they will all tell you this. You can ask any one of them. They are convinced that even though my name ended up being Lucky Shots, they are convinced that I have like some type of like energy or something around me that is causing me to constantly just happen to fall into these things, right? So a good example is like the ninja raid, right? He actually ended up raiding me extremely late that day in a time that I don't normally stream. And the only reason was because it just happened to be that day that I was getting my hair cut and colored, and he raided me because of my hair color when he raided me. And because of that, he just happened to come to my channel, and then he just happened to mention me to Mr. Beast, and he came in. And then there's stuff like a buddy of mine always makes a joke that I'm stealing all of his good luck and he only gets bad luck because like I'll get like a message from like the dealership, and they're like hey, you purchased your car, but it just turns out that this thing came through that has to do with your car, so here's like a $500 check that's like a rebate that you ended up qualifying for on the last day or something like that. And so I make $500, and then the same week he's like, bro, I was going to work and I got 2 flat tires. And it's like every time something unlucky happens to him, something super lucky will happen in the same like the same time period for me. And maybe like there'll be times when we're like going to events and like we're running late, but because we're running 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late, we get to the door right as a certain person is walking out, and they're like, oh hey, go ahead and just let them in, let them skip the line. And it's like I always turn to like Chernobyl or Dukes. They're 2 of the people that are always there at like all the events, and I'll be like, you could say that was lucky. And they're like, oh my god, shut up. But it happens so frequently that it's just this ongoing joke about just like it just happens to there's times when I'll go live and then like I happen to go live, and then I get super lucky at that time, and I get like a feature, and then because I got a feature, somebody like you pops in, and then you're like, hey, come and do this this show, right? Come do this podcast, and then that leads to somebody else finding me, and then it's like, oh, it was really lucky that like that happened the way that it did, So I would rate it a 5 just because if I didn't, I mean, could I even call myself Lucky Shots anymore?
Good question. How don't you just be called Shots?
Yeah, just be Shots.
Just be Shots. Shots all day. Oh no, just Shots.
Yeah, just Shots.
All right, man. So we did your character creation. You gave yourself your attributes. Now you're off to your main quest. So what is your main quest?
I just want to make it, dude. Like, I don't ever want to end up in a spot where I can't stream anymore. Like, I don't ever want to end up in a situation where I have to go to my community and say, hey guys, like, I can't live off of this anymore. I want to keep growing. I want to keep impacting people's lives, helping others achieve what they want to do while growing and just being bigger and better. And I want to do this until I'm done, man. Until that's the end. I want to stream, and I want to get to a point where I'm in a random airport. I always tell people that I've told so many people this. I want to be in a position where one day I'm in a random airport somewhere in the country or on the other side of the world or whatever, and like some kid comes up to me and goes, "Oh my God, are you Lucky Shots? Like, can I get a picture with you?" Dude, that's it. I want that to happen. I want to make it to a point where when somebody sees me, like they light up and they can't believe that it's me, and they want to come over and talk to me. And I just want to help people, man. I want to help other people get to that point and help them grow their streams and their communities, and just keep doing more, getting bigger, getting better.
So your side quests. With every main quest, there's always some side quests. So what are your side quests?
Well, you have to go and you have to slay the 5 boars and get the tusks, and then you have to bring them back so that you can go and no. Side quests.
Mm-hmm. So it could be anything like health goals, business goals, mental goals, personal development goals, anything you're working on the side on yourself.
At one point I was in really good shape, man. I was pushing towards 185, 190 pounds, and I've always been like skinny my whole life. So like,
how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was always like really small, like the whole time growing up. And I was getting to a point where I was like getting big and I was putting on muscle, and I was really happy with that. And then I just started slacking and not putting the time into my personal health that I should have been. So this year I want to get to 185 pounds. I want to get big again, and I just want to I want to work on my personal health, my eating habits. I've been really good about it. This year so far, I've been way better about it, and I'm continuing to do my shakes and eat my food and drinking more water and just being good about all that stuff. So I want to work on my personal health a lot, and then I think it would be really cool to go and speak at a school.
Ooh, what do you mean? What kind of speech?
I want to go in and like kind of share a little bit about my story with maybe kids that are in high school. Maybe they kind of want to stream, but they don't know where to start, or they don't know if it's even possible or whatever. Like, I think it would be really cool to go in and like talk to them about, just consistency and self-discipline, and like you can do it. You just got to do it. Like, a lot of people don't make it because they do it for 30 days and they don't get where they think they should be, and they quit. And it's like, how you gonna make it if you quit after 30 days,
Mm-hmm.
So I think speaking at a school and kind of talking to them about the industry and gaming and all that stuff would be really cool. personal health, and getting the hell out of this town, dude.
Getting the hell out of this town.
Yep.
Honestly,
Getting out of here.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I have this feeling you're in that position where you can move out of the town. But like you said, something about the courage. It's something stopping you.
Yeah, it's like just haven't pulled the trigger, you know? Because it's expensive to move, and it's like it's cheap to live here right now, and I'm able to save money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what if I move and then like I'm losing money instead of making money each month until I have no money left? Then what? You know?
Yeah, makes sense. Life, man, life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you complete your main quests and your side quests. So you reach to your final boss. So what is your final boss that you wish to conquer?
I guess like the only thing I really worry about is like having retirement and stuff set up. And it's like one day I won't be able to stream anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of scary to me. Like not being able to like game or stream or like have that anymore. That's a scary thought. I don't want to I think I'd much rather stream for as long as I possibly can, and then maybe move into another area within the industry. Doing community management, partnership management, something within the industry for some company, and then retiring after that, like locking in like a solid retirement plan, 401k, stuff like that, and then retiring from that company afterwards. And like I want to like create like a legacy, you know? Like is this a weird thing to be like scared about? Is I don't want to like be one of the people that is just like forgotten 100 years down, or like I want to do something like monumental that like will be remembered for a long time, you know?
Yeah, your fears are only based off the goals that you set for yourself. So the fear of you being forgotten is a sense of a failure that you didn't reach the goals that you set for yourself. So yes, it's perfectly normal.
And that would be it for me. I would just want to make sure that I set up the future and do everything I can to get to that point, to achieve like all the goals that I told you. So
okay, so say you conquer your final boss and it hits game over. What is the legacy or impact you wish to leave when somebody opens up your save file?
Just to know that like through like the hard work and consistency, I was able to do something I loved, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to help other people. I want to help others. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm able to not only help other people maybe achieve their goals or aspirations and whatever they want to do, but also like just like help people in their life, like being that person that's there for someone that they could talk to, like what you said earlier, or being able to be that person that they could vent to, or help somebody's life be better than it was. And when people think about me, they're like, yeah, he was always willing to help people, and he cared about people, and he cared about his loved ones and his friends and his family. And just ended doing what he loved and didn't get stuck or trapped into doing something that he hated. Because like some people will do that, and they will do something that they hate for 50 years until it's game over. And then it's like, man, like, wow, I spent so long doing this thing that I hated because I was too scared to do something that I was passionate about, and now the time is up.
It's a hell of a save file, my friend. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. All right, last question. Where can people find you?
Mixer.com/luckyshots. You can also find me on Twitter or Instagram at luckyshotsmix.
Nice. You said Instagram?
Yep, Instagram, Twitter, and then Mixer is mixer.com/luckyshots, and I'm live Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific.
Nice. What about your Discord? You got Discord, right?
Discord.gg/lucky.
Hey, okay. I'll make sure to put the link, that invite link, into the description box below so y'all can join this
Awesome,
Wolfpack awesome community. Again, Lucky Shots, bro. Thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing your story, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man. It was definitely time well spent. I appreciate you, dude.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Happy that I'm just happy, man. Is this all luck? I don't know. Is it?
Coincidence? I don't know.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Mr. Lucky Shots himself. I guess, is it luck or is it coincidence from what he shares? But basically what you can get from this is that the basic fundamental of his success is that put in the work, put in the drive. Yeah, so what if you got denied that first time? But keep on going. And this man's story is definitely a good catalyst for you guys to start your own streaming or anything in general, whatever goals you have in life. So please, gamers and everybody in between, use this example as there is no such thing as failure. It's only lessons life teaches you. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for hearing the story. Thank you for listening to the Save File podcast. Much love, much appreciated. I am your host, Gold Lion. Stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, gamers, stay golden.